Hey, I'm going to show you 7 places you can get free images for your blog, and most of them you don't even have to attribute the source. So my name is Doug Cunnington. I'm from Niche Site Project. I sort of specialize in niche sites and Amazon affiliate sites, and I get questions all the time on where you could find images that you can use on your sites, particularly ones you don't have to pay for. So there are tons of stock photo sites, and sometimes you have to pay a few dollars for an image, and they're high quality, but if you're just starting out, you want to find a way to save some money and not pay extra. So I'm going to show you 7 places to get your images, and let's get started. So the first one is Flickr Creative Commons. By the way, I'm on Niche Site Project /resources, which is a page of resources that I have for free. So if you want the list and the links, you could just head over to the site and they're all listed there. So first is Flickr Creative Commons, which is the only one where you actually have to attribute the image. So I'll show you that first. But the cool thing with Flickr Creative Commons is there are so many, millions of images that you may have the option to use. And this is located over here at flickr.com/creative commons /by 2.0. Again, go check out the link on the resources page on Niche Site Project, and you'll be able to just click the link and get to it. And basically you could search for whatever you want. So I am just going to look around my office as I do to get an idea, and I see there's several pens. Actually, I'm using a Pilot G2, and we'll just see, right? They have all sorts of random stuff because people take pictures of everything. So let's just click search, and then it'll take a second here, and we'll see. Awesome. Yeah, there are some of those images with Pilot G2s. And sometimes it doesn't always work out, and you'll have to change what you're searching for, but it's a great place to start. So one thing I always check on, because the interface changes every now and then, is to only pick a specific type of license. So we did look at the Creative Commons search page, which is very important, but I often will go further and sometimes take a look at these different qualifications. So one of the key things, like if you are going to modify the image, you would want to pick modifications allowed. For example, if I wanted to use the image as a header and I wanted to put text on top of it, well, then you would need to make sure you can modify it. Additionally, commercial use and mods allowed, well, that's a good one to choose. I will just select that one now. It'll narrow down the search, and actually it's showing me even better images that I would want to use. In fact, it's kind of cool. I have, pens just like the one shown there. So let's just arbitrarily click on one. So you click on it and you get the image here. And typically what I do at this point is I will, download the size that I want. Depending on the blog or what I'm going to do with the image, I may, get a different size. Most of the time, to be honest with you, I'll get like the medium size here. So you just click that and it downloads, and that's it. That's how you get the image. Now the thing that you have to do, because you do have to attribute the site, you see it does say some rights reserved. So that is key. You have to attribute them. So what I normally do is link to this person's profile page so that they get credit. So what I would do is I would copy the name of the profile, and I have a scratch pad open over here. So the person's name is the username. So I would put that there. And then the link that I would use is I would copy link address. And then this is like where the link would go. I'm just in a text edit type situation here. So this name, the person's profile, would actually be a link to flickr.com/photos and so on. And the thing is, I just put this in the bottom of my blog post. So it'll say image credit, Flickr Creative Commons, and then I link back to the person's profile. And of course, depending on the post or the page or whatever you're doing, if you have like several other images that you use, you need to give them credit too. So you could just like list more and more here, so on and so on. So that's all you have to do for Flickr Creative Commons, and you can end up with what ends up being very nice looking images without having to pay for them, and they also look authentic like an amateur took them. When you use stock images, sometimes they look a little too nice, and that's a thing you have to contend with. So that's Flickr Creative Commons. When you go back and search again, if you just search here, you will continue to need to keep on ensuring that you're picking the right sort of attribution. So if you were to just search up here again, it may or may not keep the license that you've picked in the past. So that's Flickr Creative Commons. That's number one. Moving on to number two is startup stock photos. So these are for sort of office settings, and they basically let you use these without attribution. We'll just take a quick look at the about. Free photos for startups, bloggers, publishers, websites, designers, and everyone else. They let you use images, and you don't have to give them any kind of attribution. So always double check the about page and make sure you're using the images in the proper way. So we'll just take a look at a quick sample. They do add new ones often, and they just have a bunch of images. We'll take a look at a couple more here, and basically you could just click the little download sign here, and then it downloads. That's it, and then you could use it. So there's several here, and it's primarily office scenes, so it doesn't come into play as much for a niche site, but it can come into play somewhere. There are items throughout that you could point to. So that's startup stock photos. Next one is Magdeleine.co. I hope I said that right. These are handpicked free photos for inspiration, and these are like super high quality by professional photographers in most cases. So a lot of times you don't have to attribute them at all. They're just free to use. So this CO0, that's Creative Commons 0, that means basically you can just use this image without any kind of attribution at all. Let's just click on one arbitrarily. Oh, these are kind of cool. I guess it's not arbitrary if I keep looking. All right, so we'll just pick this one here. You can download it. And the thing is, the reason why people would post their images here is they get a link to their profiles, and that's a good thing. They're photographers, so they want more people on it. So you can simply download the image by clicking the download button, and that's about it. It's also cool. They show you some other images that you may like, probably by the same person. They do give you some information, resolution, the size, camera, and so on. They have tags, so you could also, if you're into bridges or something like that, you could go that route. And in fact, let's just see what that does. So here, tons of different bridges and many different photographers. So you can see, you can kind of get into it pretty deep here. And let's just look at animals, just so you can see the diversity of the images you can get. So birds, horses, fish, all sorts of animals. Let's look at objects. So there we go. You got a compass and a map, plants, some food and stuff. So lots of different stuff, and there's almost too many to choose from. These are ultra high quality, again, just to emphasize that point. You know, when you download these, it's extra large, so the resolution on this one is, you know, 4593 by 3057. So kind of giant. They're just big images. So you can use these here, and let's see if there's any additional information I need to tell you about. Okay, so the license is basically public domain, so browse only public domain. There's some where you do have to provide attribution, but it's pretty easy to tell, you know, which images do need to have attribution. All right, moving on, we're going to take a look at, and actually I'll just close up these windows. So the next one is Pexels. So it's the best free stock photos in one place. Let's just learn more really quickly here. So they are free for any personal and commercial purpose. So these again are Creative Commons 0, which means you can use them for any legal purpose. You can use them for commercial, you can modify, and so on. So, you know, at the point where you can do anything with the images, I mean, it's awesome to have this capability. Just to give you an idea, again, ultra high quality. Oh, that's a really cool, it's like I thought it was a comet, but it's a person standing on a cliff holding a flashlight. So pretty neat. There's some sort of a, you know, buffalo of some kind. I'm not sure what that is. There's Easter eggs, all sorts of cool stuff. And here's a great image of a beach and an ocean and a cliff. Very cool. So you just download it here and then you can use it. So very cool, free for personal use, commercial use, no attribution. So this is Pexels, and then they give you lots of others. Now, you will notice they have a lot of other sort of like sponsorships and affiliate relationships with other sites here. So that's sort of the downside. There's a lot more of that on Pexels, but more selection. So Pexels has a lot of options here. And let's just take a look at the popular photos. And yep, you see a wide variety. You have food, office scenes, cityscapes. You got macro plants here, and just a wide variety of images. There's a pig swimming right here, so that's very interesting. Just tons of stuff. So that is Pexels. And next is Unsplash. So this is one of my favorites here. Again, same deal. No attribution required. Do whatever you want, they even say. They're high res, and it's just a simple site overall. So I usually, you know, use this view right here so I can see a grid. I can see more images all at once. So same deal, super high quality, and you don't have to attribute them. All sorts of options here. So there's you know, an office scene, a coffee shop, you have maybe like a co-working space there, and night scenes, there's a beach, so tons of stuff, and there's even a cat, for example. So you can use images from Unsplash just like the others, no attribution required, super high quality, and this is one of the primary sites that I go to. I just, for whatever reason, I sort of prefer it since there are no ads or anything like that. You can also check out the collections. So they have collections that they pull together, and they give you some themes to go on. So they call it We Work. So these are probably going to be like work scenes of some kind. So different workspaces. Depending on, you know, what the person does, so even artists. There's not a huge number, but it helps you narrow it down. The problem with stock image sites is sometimes it can get overwhelming. So there's a decent one that's a collection. Let's see, Workflow, that's interesting. So I'm not sure, there's some of the same images I see, but it gives you a little bit more options. And there's beer by laptop, that's cool, it's kind of my style. Okay, so a lot of different options here, and I should bookmark this because some of these look pretty good. I could use these myself. So moving on to the next one, I think this is number 6, ISO Republic. So I'm gonna not opt in there. This one is sort of similar to one from a couple back. I can't remember which one, but it's sort of a freemium model. So there's a lot of free images that you can use, but they have, you know, an AdSense banner here, they have an AdSense banner here, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to push us towards some stock image sites. So let's look at the office worker, since we were kind of looking at those a minute ago. And you know, you could download here, although see, it's a trick. They put a download button here, but this is actually an AdSense banner. Tricky. See, this is why I like Unsplash. ISO Republic, they put in these fake buttons right here, which is kind of, I don't like that. The real button is here. So you click this, then you download the Office desk. They do have you know, related images, and you can, you know, browse from here. Again, they do have premium images. That's what they're trying to upsell you to. They get you on the site, and then, well, they get you to accidentally click some of these ads first of all, and then they have the premium mod, or the premium images also. Let's just click on technology and see what else. So you know what, this is another reason why maybe I didn't use this. I thought when I clicked on this, it was going to take me to a category of images that had all, say, laptop keyboards, but it's just that one image. So it takes a little while to scroll through and like find images that you're going to use. Again, they put this little arrow here. It makes you think, hey, I want to see the next set of images. I'll click on this. That looks like a navigation panel. It's not. You have to click on that other portion there. So good images overall, but you do have to beware that they're trying to trick you to click these these ads, which sucks. I hate that they do that. It's like it should be a legit site, you know, where they're trying to bring value and all that, but they're trying to trick you into placing or clicking those ads. Disappointing, the ISO Republic. All right, next and the last one here, this is number 7, MMT, of which I don't remember what it stands for, but we'll take a look in a second. So again, free photos for commercial use. Use them on your websites, themes, templates, projects, blah, blah, blah. These are Creative Commons 0 license, so this actually looks a little better. I haven't been to this site in a little while, so let's take a look. Just scroll down. Nice, nice. I like this. You know, somebody's using a notebook, drawing pictures. I like it. You got a post-it note. Very cool, very cool. All right, so basically you can just download it. So this site's legit too. I like they're not trying to trick us and clicking ads or anything. So you click it. Okay, and it downloaded and it's displaying the image. Pretty fast download, so that's pretty awesome. A lot of different tags. Other stuff in the collection. So let's go to getting work done. Let's just see. Nice. I like it. I like this site. I got to remember Unsplash and MMT stock. So I appreciate how they're doing this. Let's click on about just to see, you know, how they're making money, get some idea. Jeffrey Betts is the founder. Okay, so he is just sharing these images. You know what? I bet he gets a ton of traffic because he just publishes these awesome images. Very cool. Very cool. And one last thing, I'll just check out the categories to see sort of how they divide it. Spring, workplace, and technology, city, macro, landscapes, fall, food and drinks, winter, texture, and transportation. So, I mean, you could really, like, no matter what your site is, I'm sure you could find, something. Some are better than others. Now that I'm looking at a couple of these, I have some travel images that are a little bit better. I mean, this one is just a parking lot with Cracker Barrel sign. Like, I'm not sure what this one is all about. Well, there are clouds, so clouds, landscapes, transportation, and trees. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's not my most favorite thing, but it's a cool site. It's simple, and I appreciate the way that it's put together. So we will leave it at that. So again, there are many, many different options that you can use for images. A lot of these are attribution free. You don't even have to go through the trouble of putting a credit line. If you are using free images, you will have to, do a little searching, but most of the time you can pick a couple images from one or two sources, and you don't have to, use all of these, right? Just find the one or two that you really like. I like this MMT stock. I'm probably going to try and use it a little bit more coming up in the future. And then I also like Unsplash quite a bit. And then always the go-to is Flickr Creative Commons. They just have such a diverse set of images, and they look like authentic images that I may have taken myself versus a very professional looking image with in a studio. Those are images, frankly, that sometimes on a website it may look a little too polished, and I often want my websites to look more like a real person created them versus a highly paid photographer in a studio. So lastly, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to this channel. I publish something once or twice a week. Usually it's about niche sites, sometimes it's about internet marketing in general, but I would really appreciate it. And if you're actually just getting started with niche sites, you should head over to nichesiteproject.com. There will be multiple ways for you to sign up for the email list, but if you do, you'll be able to get 15,000 keywords to start a niche site. They're from many successful niche sites that are already out there, so we know the keywords work, we know they're profitable, so go check that out. There's a lot of other resources I offer there for free as well, and I look forward to seeing you around the blog. Thanks.